Your Wired Daily Briefing. Today, the UK Space Agency has outlined new funding for vertical and horizontal spacecraft launch sites. ZTE can do business in the US again. Rolls-Royce is working on a 5-person flying taxi and more. Get WIRED's daily briefing in your inbox. Sign up here. 1. Britain's first vertical launch spaceport to be built in Scotland. The UK Space Agency and the Scottish Government's Highlands and Islands Enterprise Development Agency have announced that the Amwan Peninsula in Sutherland is to be home to Britain's first vertical launch spaceport. BBC News. A £2 million fund has been committed to the development of the site, which has been deemed the best location in the UK from which to launch rockets bearing orbital satellites. Other sites in Cornwall, Glasgow, Prestwick and Snowdonia are being developed with horizontal launch capabilities. Business Secretary Greg Clark said that the project will build on our global reputation for manufacturing small satellites and help the whole country capitalize on the huge potential of the commercial space age. 2. ZTE can do business in the US again. Big Chinese telecommunications hardware maker ZTE has finally been granted permission to once again do business with US companies. The Register. The denial order on the company, imposed because it sold products to Iran and North Korea, was lifted by the U.S. government following the ZTE's payment of a $1 billion penalty, $892 million in past payments, placing of $400 million in escrow against any future actions that displease the U.S. appointment of a completely new board and acceptance of U.S. oversight. The company can now buy the U.S. hardware and components it relies on to make both smartphones and heavy-duty commercial telecoms kit. 3. Rolls-Royce is working on a 5-person flying taxi. British aircraft engine maker Rolls-Royce, not to be confused with the car marque that was part of the same company until the 1970s, has revealed a 5-person electric vertical takeoff and landing (eVTOL) concept. Bloomberg. Designed for use as a flying taxi, the concept is a hybrid electric, gas turbine flyer with a range of around 500 miles 805 kilometers and speeds of up to 250 miles per hour 402 kilometers per hour. Rolls-Royce is showing off the aircraft at the Farnborough Air Show and is seeking partners to develop it into a production vehicle that, the company says, could be on the market by the early to mid-2020s. 4. A furious backlash is brewing against India's tech billionaires. In May 2018, Walmart gave India's startup scene a $16 billion £12 billion boost, splashing out on a majority stake in Flipkart, the retailer and Amazon rival. Wired. India's largest internet deal may seem to justify the recent hype around its tech sector, but beneath the surface, trouble is brewing. Walmart's decision to buy Flipkart smacks more of desperation than opportunity, as the US-based group tries desperately to avoid being overrun by Amazon. Investors hoping India can mimic a China-style internet boom in areas like payments are set for disappointment. 2. For a country of 1.3 billion people, India's middle class, the people who should be shopping, is limited. Only 8 million people earn $20,000 or more a year. Combine this with poor basic infrastructure in areas like roads and power, and an infamously complex regulatory environment, and even the most nimble startup will struggle. 5. We Happy Few pre-launch trailer reveals new plot. Psychedelia-washed first-person dystopia We Happy Few has a brand new story trailer detailing 3 playable characters and a full-fledged plot for the game that began life as a survival sim PC gamer. The 60s-styled retro-futuristic setting still tips its hat to British TV icons like The Prisoner and The Avengers, and now there's a Bioshock-like narrative as the protagonists uncover the secrets of Wellington Wells, where everyone can happily forget past and present horrors as long as they remember to take their joy. We Happy Few launches for Windows on August 10. Popular on Wired. What's the best camera phone of 2018? We asked a pro to test them. The camera is one of the best reasons to choose one high-end phone over another. Most are made of glass and metal. All have more power than most of us need, and sharp, vivid displays. Among Android phones at least, it's the camera that turns a great phone into one of the best of the year. We took to the streets of London with a professional photographer to find the best camera phone in 2018. Wired 718 on sale now. Wired 718 is out now. This month, we go inside WeWork, one of the most hyped startups in the world, to try and make sense of its lofty valuation. And we investigate the high-stakes lawsuit that could fundamentally change not just Uber, but the entire gig economy. Subscribe now and save. Podcast 377, Why Can't Women Play in the Men's World Cup? Listen now, subscribe via RSS or add to iTunes. Get Wired Awake sent straight to your inbox every weekday morning by 8 a.m. Click here to sign up to the Wired Awake newsletter. Follow Wired on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn and YouTube.